Chat likes to see bombs because bombs can be kind of trolly. Once you get a little practice with them, they're not so bad.
You never know when you get a seed like mine where you end up with bombs on. Oh, and we're off already.
Here we go.
So, of course, anyone not familiar with the new change to separate the opening status of the world from the swords, Uncle does not guarantee you a sword any longer in standard mode if you do choose randomized swords. But he is guaranteed to give you a weapon of some description, whether it is the Cane of Burna, the Cane of Samaria, Fire Rod, Bow, Hammer, or a sword. I might have missed one. But anyways, he will always guarantee a weapon that can kill everything that you need to kill to get out of escape, as well as a refill of whatever item he does give you.
Spiff, I don't know if you caught Uncle, but Uncle said you're going to have a very bad time, so let's hope that's not borne out. We have the red cane from Uncle today. This will be an interesting escape.
Red cane, a very simple one to use, because it uses magic slow enough that you can almost use it to a degree indefinitely. A bomb already. Not yet getting that drop. We'll see if he does get lucky. There's enough green guards to kill that there's a decent chance that he will, but we'll see how exactly they play this seed. But yeah, so for definitely there's lots, because of the low magic usage of Cane of Samaria, especially if you're using push strats. Yeah, there's a bomb drop for Nach, no problem. You can use it very easily as a weapon early on. So with that, likely we'll just see dodging from both these players the rest of the way through. One bomb's all you really need, and there's not a lot of reason to slow yourself down farming more bombs. We'll see what kind of speed strats the players use in these, if they're just going to push the blocks in, if they're going to use some explosion strats to speed up the fight. And the answer appears to be just use push strats.
If it works, it works.
It does work. It's not the fastest way to do it, but you're also losing we're talking probably less than 2 seconds of time loss over the optimal method. Very small difference that will likely mean very little in the long run. Both players pretty much synced up here. Mardio a little bit ahead. Looks like their timer's a little bit behind at the moment as well. Just getting that synced back up there. There we go. So some players will decide to not use pots with Samaria here, because though the pots do more damage, as I was talking about before, just using the block repeatedly, using the Samaria block very quickly, can often be faster. Unfortunately, not quite getting him blocked in the corner there. There we go. So lots of strategies that can be used with the Cane of Samaria very effectively on the ball and chain guard.
Both of our runners look like they've picked up an 8 bomb drop here in Escape, so that'll feel good, especially if they make the common early game play to Kakariko. There's a couple of bombable walls in there. Won't need to buy bombs.
Yeah, very, very rare to not see the Kakariko play early, given that you're going to start in Sanctuary afterwards. It's a little bit different than the open mode, where there's some more viability for a couple of the routing options. It's obviously still an option, but just very rarely used. Anyways, only 40 rupees on each runner so far as well. So we'll see how their money goes on going through Kakariko. You're typically fine to get money from the bottle vendor, especially since you will get 50 rupees in Kakariko. And so given that we pretty much have enough bombs to do everything we want to do in this seed, assuming no misses, we're in a good position to just continue, just to not even need to buy bombs in Kakariko if we don't have the money to. Both players pushing aside whatever this is. see if there's any interesting snake hallway strats. I wouldn't be surprised if something like chucking a Cane of Samaria block down the hallway a couple times.
I'm already chucking one block.
Yep. And Not's just going to tank it all the way through.
That was just 50 rupees in the sewer chest.
Yep. Given that the Cane of Samaria does only do fighter sword damage with each hit, it does make some sense because the snakes do take 2 hits from fighter sword damage. Now for everyone's favorite key rat. Shouldn't be too difficult with the Cane of Samaria.
Yep, the final boss of Escape. Both of our runners take down the key rat.
Bomb the wall. And we'll see how much it mattered that we got bombs here. It mattered. It mattered a lot.
Oh, yeah. If there's no other glove available in the world and you don't get a bomb, our runners would have had to go through the entire escape sequence again to get back here.
Been there, done that yesterday. For required book for entrance to Desert Palace. Good times. Which then had vanilla glove.
Ouch.
Anyways, both players finishing up their escape sequence here. Just over 6 minutes, so a pretty good time there. 6 minutes being sort of the benchmark for a stellar non-boots escape.
I always like picking up the mirror in Escape. It's if you've never gotten the mirror in Escape before, once you get Zelda, you can mirror straight back to the entrance of Hyrule Castle and save quite a bit of time there.
You can. I was thinking about. I had a seed where I had the chance to do that, but I was sort of thinking about how it's not really all that valuable at the same time, because most of the places you want to go from there would probably be faster to save and quit to Link's house anyways.
Yes, but in Standard it works just fine. You can get straight to the sewers from the entrance of the castle.
Yeah.
Marty with the... Yeah, I couldn't see that check.
We'll see it here shortly. It looked roundish, but I might have just been crazy. Oh, it's a 300 rupee.
Yeah, I doubt our runners are going to kill Aghanim just for that.
No, it could be consequentially picked up, depending on what items we do get throughout the seed, what money we get throughout the seed and when, and if Agar is required for other reasons, but we're not going to see any Aghanim deaths just for the purpose of getting 300 rupees. Also, now that we do have as much money as we do, it will be a little interesting to see if either of our runners does decide to buy bombs as well in Kakariko. As I mentioned before, they should have enough bombs to get through most of the seed, no problem. But if they don't pick up more in Kakariko, they will be down to just 5, which may not feel comfortable to our runners. But at the same time, with the Cane of Samaria being a weapon, still gives you plenty of killing power for most things.
Yes, the mini Moldorm cave is a common early gameplay. There's 4 mini Moldorms to kill there, and cane strats should last them just fine.
Yeah. Didn't quite catch all of Blind's Hut there, but I didn't see anything of consequence.
No, I mean, Dr. Marty did pick up 3 more bombs, but... Oh, there's Bombos.
Bombos is nice to have. The only problem with getting Bombos super early is the fact that if you find flippers as well, you sort of get scared of early Ice Palace.
Yeah, we'd still need a lot of stuff, but yeah, you're afraid of Ice Palace there. At this point, we can't use the medallion at all. We don't have a sword.
No, it means nothing until you... Oops. Didn't... Bomb right. Almost takes a death for it, too. Playing it a little safe there, making sure we do not die there. He'll probably pick up both the hearts here. Yeah. Although, and then he'll get a heart refill from picking up enough pieces of heart. So yeah, both runners will get a heart refill there. Notch playing it a little tight there. He could have died to that bomb explosion.
That's a quick map check. I caught blue pendant, I think, at Eastern, and a regular crystal at Desert. I couldn't catch Hera.
Yeah, we already had a map check earlier from Notch as well, so we'd already had it.
Oh, look at that. I should pay more attention.
A bug net, though. So we have something to kill Aghanim with, not as if we couldn't anyways, because we sort of are required to have a sword to get to Aghanim 1 anyways. On the other side, we can also catch fairies now, when we have bottles.
And without a bottle, we're going to be leaving that sick kid in the house to the north for the time being. That's a tricky check to route back in. If you end up leaving Kakariko for the first time before you've checked the sick kid, that's one of those things that lingers on your mind until you get that first bottle.
Yeah, it depends on when you get the flute as well, because the flute is sort of that one thing that can pull you back to Kakariko later that you're sort of like, yeah, I can do the sick kid now while I activate the flute. But aside from that, yeah.
There's
lots
another,
of rupees.
Yeah, lots of rupees in these locked locations. 300 on the Lumberjack Ledge, 300 on the library.
Dr. Mardio making my favorite gamble, which is just YOLOing the race.
Yeah, the early game, other than that glove, we don't really have any signs of early progression, so going for the race game might be the right call here.
And we find out it's not, but that's okay. There's a chance he'll still pick up those 20 rupees. Doesn't look like he does.
Nah, it looks like that was a save and quit.
Yep. What are we planning to? Are we going to Dark Death Mountain here, Marty, or did you not go to Sanctuary? Okay. Uh-oh.
This is a problem.
I don't think he deleted it. I think he just went... I think he changed files.
Yeah, during my tournament race last week, I got some nerves, and I opened the wrong file just like this. Hopefully this is a reset and heading straight to the right file. Well, there's that bottle from the dam.
Yep.
Marty is using the third file, so gonna have to remember that.
Okay, we're all good now. Mardio gained that nice little pixel where you can walk along the water, but not in the water, just for a little bit faster traversal.
And Notch opting to pick up the heart container. That's a good call early in the game. We have the prospect of going into the Dark World eventually. 4 hearts, you don't feel all that comfortable.
Yeah, pre-6 hearts, I think you pick up most heart containers that are accessible to you for almost every runner. Post-6, it probably comes a little bit more down to what mail you have, other similar little things. Uh-oh, Notch. We're gonna be fine. Uh-oh, uh-oh. I think he hit all 3 Moldorms with that block explosion.
Going with the bombs to finish him off.
Probably a good idea to use the Cane of Samaria rather than risk your bombs.
Yeah.
Let me get more bombs as the prize. Is that another heart container? Was that?
We got the silvers. I wasn't sure it was in the second chest. The only
it
thing
was a heart container.
It was a. Oh yeah, look at that. But we got the silver arrows.
Yep. One less thing for our runners to worry about. Accidentally chucking the Cane of Samaria out the door.
Notch is opting to make the play up to Ice Rod Cave here. Given how few items we have that indicate progression, I think that's absolutely the right call.
Yeah, there's not much reason to skip Ice Rod Cave when your only other main progression you have left is Aghanis Cave and the Eastern Palace play, pretty much. Fortunately, missed that on our stream here. I'll see if I catch it on the main stream. It was just a piece of heart.
Yeah, I think we caught the sound effect, but not the item.
Dr. Mardio a little bit low on magic at the moment. should be okay. Not a lot of things you need to kill enemies for in the near future here. And we're going to find out where our green pendant is. Someone could decide to check to talk to Sahasrahla here and find out where our last pendant is, if they so decide.
We get the Moon Pearl, though. That's still not the whole Dark World picture. We still need a hammer or another glove upgrade, but that's important.
Or Aghanim access in everyone's favorite way of getting Dark World access.
Yeah, I didn't even want to mention that.
But we all know it's a possibility. Anyway, so Nach gonna continue on to Eastern Palace. Not a bad play. The only, not too many other locations in Logic right now.
We do get a green pendant check. It is Misery Mire.
So everything else other than Misery Mire in the Dark World is a crystal of some description. We don't know which ones are the red ones yet, but they're all crystals.
That might be a little frustrating to get the early cane and see that Misery Mire is a pendant.
Yeah, I'd rather, but it's more frustrating if it's Turtle Rock that's that pendant.
That's true. I'll agree with you there.
Yeah, both runners still following the same path here. No divergence whatsoever as of yet.
Yeah, I imagine most of the difference in time we're seeing can be explained by Dr. Marty's little flub picking the wrong file. Other than that, they're very close.
Even still, just being about 3 rooms apart. Very nice invisible Stalfos room by Nach there. Getting the 2 spawning, killing them both before they spawn.
That's one of those cool-looking tricks in this game that is actually not that hard to learn.
Yeah, very simple to learn. Very simple to mess up as well, because there's very little visual cue. Hello, Hammer. That's Dark World access.
So we are not going to be seeing Aghanim today. Sorry to disappoint.
So, we're gonna get this. We're gonna get the sequence break, which most runners, that I think at this point, do. Interesting that he picked up the pots on the way through the center of the room to get to the key. But hey, whatever works for you.
Yeah, without the sword, sometimes it's a little difficult to know where you are. If you have the sword, a lot of runners will hold out the sword and follow the sparkles, but Nach doing a great job in the dark without any indicator of his location.
Yeah, could have used the hammer if he decided to. Martio decided to just save and quit, which not a bad play. I also wasn't counting items, so I don't know what was left. Sort of lost track there. Come on, Nach. Okay, he got it without dying.
So, given that Nach went through the dark, either there's another item left, in which case it's on Armos, or Nach wasn't counting items, so...
Yeah.
I'm sure chat's on it. Chat knows everything.
Pretty much. We just going the other way to Kakariko Village, or do you have something else in mind here, Nach? I think both players are just taking their own routes to Sick Kid is all that's happening here, yeah.
Yeah, looking like Marty's route is a little more efficient.
So once again, still very little route divergence here. We'll see if both players decide to start in Skullwoods, Village of Outcasts, or somewhere else. Actually, did Nach even do the Sick Kid?
don't think so.
Doesn't matter a lot. It was a big 20. It's not going to hurt him in the long run.
So
Martio...
Dr. Marty getting into the Dark World just shy of the 20-minute mark.
Yep, and he's going to go for Skull Woods. We'll see if Notch makes the same play or the Village of Outcasts play. There's the map check. So Thieves Town and Ice Palace are our red crystals. Other than that, we knew everything else already. Nice 8-bomb drop. Not really going to matter. I don't expect to see a lot more bomb usage in the seed, but we are seeing that divergence of one player immediately going Skull Woods and the other. The payoff already.
Yep. And Notch, second-guessing his decision to head down, is probably going to be glad when he finds that sword.
Yep. One more item still left in here. I expect we will likely see both runners go to the back portion, but that could come to a little bit of comfortability for both of them.
This upcoming room will not be too painful for Dr. Marty.
Yeah. Wallmasters deciding that boundaries between rooms don't matter and just coming through the top of the bottom of the other room.
So that chest, which I believe is the vanilla big key location, just had the compass, so the remaining item in Skullwoods is locked behind the fire rod.
Whether it's on Mothula or in below, or whether it's the big key chest itself, we don't know yet. This isn't the fastest ride to get back into Thieves Town. You typically want to go out the western entrance of Skullwoods, but with the sword, it's not awful because at least you don't have to pull up 10 consecutive bushes. You can just stab your way through them.
Yeah. Some runners, if they have the boots, won't bother going. They just take those bushes all in a row and head out.
Yeah. The way that Notch is going here is the way that I believe is the faster way to exit and get to Thieves Town. You will have to deal with this red guard, but he's not a huge issue.
Well, you say that, and Notch taking a couple of body hits there.
Yeah.
Dr. Marty picks up the Master Sword from the first chest in Thieves Town, so we are at Master Sword at 23 minutes.
Yep. Master Sword not going to be a problem for this seed, which is a nice change from a couple seeds I've seen lately.
And we get the cape. When we're in this part of the world, it might not be disadvantageous to take a detour up to the Bumper Cave and see if that cape is unlocking anything for us.
Yeah, we may see that delayed for a little while until the mirror shows up, though. It depends on, once again, personal preference here, because going south is obviously a higher density of items going towards Hype Cave, specifically, as well as getting the digging game and the Stumpy out of the way at the same time. I believe we're already at 3 items in the front of Thieves Town. What was in that last chest there?
I don't remember, so I don't think it was important.
Let's see. Oh no, okay, so never mind. We're only at 2 items. Only at 2 items.
No, Notch taking a death. I don't think that one was intentional.
No, probably not. Although it might have been a health refill. But typically not.
Yep, we are still on 7 hearts and green mail, which when you're stumbling around the Dark World is not the most comfortable situation to be in.
No, not at all. Yeah, just another quick call out. Yoinkers there, our tracker, we have a moon pearl there on for Dr. Marty, of course. Or else it'd be very difficult for him to be where he is. There we are. Got that moon pearl now. Everyone knows why Dr. Marty is not a bunny now. The grasshoppers doing their best to try to troll our runners.
Those grasshoppers do 2 hearts of damage when you have the green mail. They are not a fun enemy to have to dodge around.
Don't leave. Okay. I think that was fine. There is a possibility that Dr. Martio still left a frame early, but I think it's fine. Notch not having the funnest of times in the Thieves' Town so far, though. Probably gonna pick up the safety heart up here. Ugh.
Yeah, good. It's good to know where those safety hearts are. There's a few more in the cells in the basement. There's 2 hearts. I believe the 2 skulls on the right-hand side are both hearts. And if you have the powder, there's a bunny beam under a skull there, too, that you can powder.
Yeah. I like to leave that heart for my way back if I can, just because I know how healthy I can get. But when you're at under 2 hearts, you just pick it up on the way up. First place. Oh no, Notch!
Notch takes a death in the hellway. Meanwhile, Marty is picking up those hearts in the cell.
Yep, we have 1. Oh, I didn't see if that was an item or not. We have 1 item left to find. Restream shows it's a map, so we have 1. So we are going to go to the big chest for sure. It may still just be the compass, but maybe it's the last item. We shall find out right away.
It is just the compass.
It is just the compass, but you want to find it out. You don't want to come back for that chest after you finish blind, because that's just a lot of running through the dungeon that's not required otherwise.
So we're going to see a blind fight from Dr. Marty here. This is what a lot of people like to call a scripted fight. It looks kind of random, but if you do the same thing every time, blind will respond the same way every time. You can make the fight not too difficult. And Marty sticks on that script for the first 3 hits.
Nice. Looks nice so far. Gonna lose the script a little bit. Oh, it could matter. It did matter.
So Notch can pick up a little bit of time after those deaths with a death from the blind fight. Yep. And this is a really...
Nope, Notch just lost it all. He didn't get the bomb. The bomb did not explode in time either.
Thieves' Town is not being kind to our runners today. That's the thing, when you get that
just dipping it entirely. He's like, there's 1 item left, I don't care right now.
So, if Marty gets the kill here, we'll see if that will come back to bite Notch. This battle is kind of tricky to come in from the bottom once it's already been started, since you're out of position for that script. And Marty's going to go with Kane for the first few hits here.
Not a bad idea. I enjoy some Kane strats. I even like combining the Kane with sword, staying at the top and using the Kane to get some hits middle, and almost got that 3rd hit with the Kane block. So once again, I just place a Kane block here and hope that he runs into it. Otherwise, does he get the red? Okay, he got the red potion off. This should be fine, but you never know with so much flying around. No, we're not. We've still got 2 hits.
Oh. That's rough to see.
Notch, meanwhile, finding another bottle from Stumpy. It has a B in it, so it's not going to be overly useful. And not going to Hype Cave.
Interesting play. Unless he's both just gonna enter the Dark World from down here?
I guess that's the play. I'm not sure how the time difference is on that, so... Unfortunately, has one Samaria block, maybe. Might not even have any Samaria blocks. Maybe we don't have him on sound, so we don't know if we're getting a no magic sound effect or if it's just that he's not using it. Oh, this fight's not looking a lot better, unfortunately. He's gonna have to dodge everything in this.
There's really not enough magic for him to get use out of that. Nope.
Yeah, at this point, he really either needs to get enough health to get to sword beams, so that he can use sword beams for the fight, or he needs to just walk away for a while.
Notch has picked up Tempered Sword and Titan's Mitts in Hype Cave. I think that is pretty hype.
That is definitely pretty hype. Hype Cave has definitely brought its worth back in V29. It's not always hype, but that's fine. You really don't want any location to be always hype, because that does put too much emphasis on it. But a sword upgrade and mitts are both to some degree required for every seed.
Notch is starting from Sanctuary. I wonder if he's gonna head... maybe this is a sequence break up Death Mountain?
Perhaps, or we're just going back to Thieves Town again.
Yeah, that looks like it. Of course, the Tempered Sword itself is not going to be much use on Blind as compared to the Master Sword. Blind takes the same amount of damage from every single weapon that can hit him.
You're correct, but Notch hasn't had a problem on that part of the dungeon yet. He needs to be able to get through all the enemies first.
This is true. That's right, Notch hasn't even seen Blind yet.
Yeah, he hasn't even got the... As I said, he unfortunately died during the skylight explosion, so doesn't even have the skylight open yet. Which would have saved a little bit of time, but now we'll see now we might get to see what Dr. Martio is missing by not by dipping out before completing Blind. This race is currently pretty much dead even. Which, after both of these runners are not going to feel that way right now with all the deaths they have taken in Thieves Town. So Notch just confirming that the skylight was not open there, I imagine.
Good call. It would have been a real unfortunate occurrence if Notch forgot to open the skylight, so...
Well, I think the other way was also to save him from having to go all the way through all the grasshopper rooms to find out that it was already open. I think he was fairly sure it wasn't open and was just double checking because of exactly that. Martio, of course, continuing on and picking up all of this, and I'd give Dr. Martio a slight edge on everything, with a few more locations checked, but this will come down a lot to what Blind has, and really we're talking about a matter of a couple minutes with no real item advantage yet, so it doesn't really mean much. And we'll see if this is a pod play or just a Northwest Dark World play.
Looking more like a check on the pyramid right now.
Yep. I believe those starfish enemies do die to 1/the tempered as well. Arrow upgrade on the ledge. See what we get here. Are we going catfish?
Yeah, looks like catfish.
Yep. I think Dr. Martio was double guessing himself there for just a moment. Was considering just going to pod instead. neither play guaranteed to be more right than the other. We're not guaranteed anything at a pot at the moment. At least not if we're not using the potion glitch, which we won't go too much into unless we actually see the potion glitch get used here. Actually, I don't think Dr. Mardio is even currently able to use it because he doesn't have a potion. He has an empty bottle and a bottle with a B.
Yep, yeah, he used his red potion on a blind fight that ended in some misfortune for him.
Yeah. Nach here about to attempt this blind fight. We might be about to see if we are going to get some more value here.
Well,
Catfish
we don't get no value from catfish.
Hey, I mean, 1 rupee is
value. 1 rupee worth of value from catfish. Nach already has the cape equipped. It's good to know your limitations if you think you're a little less confident.
Yeah, if you're less confident in this fight, you pretty much want to be starting out with either using the Cane of Samaria or using the cape. Cane of Samaria, if you're familiar with the strategy, I for a long time actually found Cane of Samaria the easier way to fight blind, because it allowed me to stay away from blind while I fought him.
Blind does not have anything of value. Well, blind has 5 rupees worth of value. So Dr. Marty not missing out.
He has a 5/6 crystal, so there is some inherent value in that, but doesn't mean anything till we actually do Ice Palace. And given that we don't have flippers, there's no real rush to the Pyramid Fairy at the moment. But that being said, flipper's the only thing that's definitely blocking Ice Palace. Hookshot may be blocking Ice Palace. So there are definitely some plays that could be made here, depending on your style of play here, including the ability to you can get in without flippers, of course, using the fake flipper glitch. So if one of our players was feeling very strongly about it, you could definitely go ahead. If you can do the bomb jumps and you can do fake flippers, you can do all of Ice Palace right now.
Yeah, it can be done. Fake flippers into Ice Palace is very rarely the right call, especially in this seed. We know that flippers are going to be required for Swamp.
Yeah.
So we're going to see another rematch between Dr. Marty and Blind. Dr. Marty bringing a red potion into this battle.
Did he find another red potion or buy one?
He bought one. Yep.
Okay. Missed that. Nach is going to make the Ice Palace play, though, by the looks of it. Or he might just be doing general fake flipper shenanigans.
Yeah, I would expect the regular fake flipper stuff, the hobo, the waterfall cave, before we see Ice Palace.
Having a little bit of problems here. There we go. Got it. Got it there. Yeah, this fight not looking a lot better for Dr. Mardio yet, unfortunately, either. Has already used the red potion and is only now on to phase 2. Hopefully can use that Cane of Samaria, as I mentioned before, to sort of focus on dodging the heads while he just lets Blind kill himself. There we go.
Dr. Marty gets it done. Gets that 5 rupees and that 5/6 crystal. Nach only saw 3 bombs on the Lake Hylia Island and elected to skip the hobo, so we're going to see the water walk glitch here to open these 2 chests. That's the hook shot.
Yep. So we know that Swamp is... Well, it's not like that's really saying anything. Oh no, hook shot after flippers. They'll say, don't forget to cancel your water walk if you're going to get hit here, Nach. Otherwise, you actually want to stay out of the shallow water if you're water walking, because the shallow water will still leave you walking at shallow water pace, which is slower than normal pace, whereas deep water you can walk at normal speed.
King Zora with the life lesson, taking 500 rupees and giving back 20.
Yeah. Did we see the Zora ledge? I missed it.
The ledge was a full heart container.
Okay. So a little bit of value there. Potentially, if you were actually there with flippers, you might have seen him grab it, but since he did not have flippers, he didn't have access to it anyways, so... Not seeing it just yet. But yes, of course, pointing out that finding the hookshot locked by flippers does mean that it cuts off. For instance, most likely East Death Mountain will not be where the flippers are unless we get the mirror to help us access East Death Mountain as well.
Notch is making a sequence break play up to Death Mountain. Without the lamp, this progression through this cave is not expected. So yeah. We'll see what we find up here.
Very quickly through the first portion. And about to hear our bat sound effects. There they are. And we are out of the cave. Let's see if Old Man has anything of note. He does not. So lamp not blocking anything of note yet, because now it could be the lamp or the flute that is blocking whatever progression is up here.
Yep, and if we find one of those items up here, we'll know the other one is somewhere not up here.
Yes. Yeah, if you're already sequence breaking one part, may as well sequence break both. Tower of Hera being a pendant makes this play a little bit less valuable, as you will not... you're not going to be able... Well, you could do Tower of Hera, but it's just a pendant dungeon, which right now is of questionable worth. We are starting to, of course, lose in-sequence locations still. Bumper Cave having a big 20 on it.
Blue mail for Notch and another heart. A little bit more safety.
If you're going to sequence break something, the mails are a very good thing to sequence break, because they don't lead to anything, but they give you a lot more safety. Nice time for more bombs there. Notch only had one bomb left after that, so he'll be happy to see some more bombs. Let's see if he wants to try this bomb jump here to skip the outside portion. Looks like he's going to try it real fast.
Looks like a good setup.
Looks okay. He might be a pixel too far away. Now we're good. We're good. And
Dr. Marty is taking the dwarf on a fake flipper ride.
Yep. And we're going to see a hobo check. What do we have on the island? We have 50 rupees. So we are going to get a Tower of Hera play here. There's nothing else we can do over here aside from jump down and go to Spike Cave, check Spectacle Rock. Now I expect we'll see...
Spectacle Rock is just a 5-arrow upgrade.
Nothing we really wanted to see, but... We're going to be a little happy we find the big key there. Makes the basement much less likely.
And if the basement does turn out to have an item in it, we won't be able to get it right now. We don't have a fire source.
Yep. Ether. That doesn't mean a lot right now, but it is, of course, one more medallion, which means we're 33% less likely to have to go on a search for that after we find out what we need for Turtle Rock. Notch flipping the switch already. Pretty confident play here. Wonder whether he's doing the bomb jump or whether he's going up the vanilla way to get this item.
He looks like he's going to hookshot across and then just take the fall down.
Yeah, just want to make sure you fall on the right side of it. Oh, he didn't do that. You don't want to flip the switch if you're falling like that.
Notch,
do you?
Notch found both items, so Notch
Oh,
is...
right, okay.
Notch is banking on that pendant not being required.
Which makes sense, yeah. Time for Resident Sleeper Cave, everyone. No mirror making our routing much more scripted than it would normally be. Also of note that we still, of course, don't know what's in the, we have no idea what's in Spectacle Rock, just what's on it. Just hookshotting everything to death here.
After their nice swim, Dr. Marty is finally taking that dwarf home. Let's see what the breadsmiths have today.
And on the other side, let's see what Dark World Death Mountain has for us.
That is...
Oh, don't save and quit!
No,
don't! Is he out of magic? He's not out of magic, is he?
He might have been. Not sure.
No, not at all out of magic.
No, not at all. Okay. That's a little lapse on Dr. Marty's part. That was the... I was going to say the perfect place to find the powder, but...
Are we getting a nice palace play? We'll find out once the stream comes back. There we go. It looks like we're getting a nice palace play. Stun prize? Was that a stun prize of 20 rupees, or was that not the thing he stunned? I don't know. And that's all the bottles?
Looks like it.
I don't think there's much else of note that we could get here other than go to Ice Palace. That is the play we're getting.
And on the other side, Notch is using that sequence broken hookshot in the hookshot cave.
Yep. We'll have to keep track of whether Ice Palace was hookshot locked or not here in the... as best as we can. Depends on a number of factors.
Hookshot cave is nothing.
Yep.
We're gonna see the medallion for Turtle Rock here.
It is ether,
It's
so
ether.
We have it. It'll be interesting to see if a dip's required in there at some point before Fire Rod or not. Of course, we actually need Ice Rod for it this seed. I'm so used to it being Pendant Turtle Rock lately that I'm not used to actually needing Ice Rod. Not having some hookshot not stunning enemies problem there.
Yeah, that happens, I think, because there's an invisible sprite that swings in front of the guards to test their line of vision, and you can hookshot that invisible sprite.
Aha.
Not
we're getting the pod play.
Heading to pod, yep.
Not a bad play, because everything he finds in here will be as in sequence as would be expected. I say that. He's going to do dark rooms. Like, who are we kidding here?
Yeah, and I wouldn't be surprised to see the potion glitch. Notch has already shown reckless disregard for the sequence, so the potion glitch, if we see it, we'll tell you some more about it. It will allow Notch to access 2 chests that are locked by the bow.
Now, that being said, there's a decent chance the lamp is in here, and Notch saving and quitting.
We're not going to see it.
I wonder what he just realized. Like, other than an Ice Palace play, I don't really know, but Ice Palace, once again, not being in sequence yet is a little strong of a save and quit play. He might be going for a Gina's Cave. No, looks like Ice Palace. Or Hobo. Because I believe Notch did skip Hobo the first time around.
Yeah, Notch skipped Hobo.
But I would not put this. I would not put save and quit away from a pod check over.
Yes,
over a Hobo.
Pod is mostly in logic. Ice Palace is, yeah, not in logic. If we're gonna see that after, yeah, Hobo's probably not worth that.
And I believe we know Hobo's not worth it, but just in general, a one-item location that takes this long to set up is probably not the optimal choice. But we've made it now, so let's see what we're getting here. So we will be getting Ice Palace, double sequence break Ice Palace at the same time. Not even a lot of luck with small keys yet, either. Dr. Mario going to be at a slight advantage in this dungeon because of the fact that he does have the powder.
That powder is in logic, and Dr. Marty did not check it.
That's correct. Yep, we know that as well as like we've mentioned. There's still Pod. What other locations do we have? There is a Gina's Cave. I don't think anyone's checked a Gina's Cave yet. So Gina's Cave is a big place that someone still needs to check at some point in the near future. Looks like we're getting the hookshot room from Dr. Mario here. Yep.
Unfortunately for chat, Bo is not at pedestal since Eastern Palace is a pendant.
Yeah. I'm not sure. Do we have any ped hype? I think Mirror would be the main one. Oh, unfortunate there, missing the bomb on the other Stalfos. Nice angle, though.
We get the boots in Ice Palace. What does that do for us? That lets us get the bonk rocks and the bow. Oh boy. So we have now the bow and the boots out of sequence.
Now this really makes the pod play a great play now, though. Of course, both players may very well have avoided a double dip pod, a required double dip pod with this sequence break. Because I would put a very good chance that there's flippers in the front part of pod somewhere.
Yeah, flippers in the front part of pod would restore logic to this seed, because I don't think...
Notch, you need to just not do this. You're full clearing anyways. Just go hit the switch. Go hit the switch.
Yeah, you have the cane. You can hit the switch. It won't be a problem.
Well, and when you're full clearing Ice Palace with Hookshot and Cane of Samaria, there's very little value to the bomb jump. The only real value is that you don't have to. Like the only problem is the fact that once you get everything, you're gonna have to go. You're gonna have to go downstairs to, like, you're gonna have to go through the big key door and through the extra key door. So you need all the small keys, so on and so forth. And Dr. Martio's out of magic.
Out of magic. Ugh.
Was that a hard reset?
I don't. No, because he has the bow. He has the bow, so he must have saved it. But...
Okay. It looked weird because of how instant everything went.
So with the start of Sanctuary, we'll probably see King's Tomb or Bonk Rocks, or both. Bonk Rocks first, it looks like.
Yeah. The one problem is our runners are going to... Well, if Pod's not the play, our runners are going to very quickly lose sight of what's in logic and what's not. It's likely. Once again, if you're going to find safeties, though, if you're going to sequence break safeties, those are good things to sequence break, because at least you know that it's not quite as much of an issue. That was too early, Notch. You're only going to get one of them. Hope everyone enjoyed this double bombos exhibition. Now, of course, Dr. Mardio making the Death Mountain play. So once this is finished, both of our runners are basically going to be on the same footing again. The main advantage, of course, being Dr. Mardio with having done the blacksmith route does have the powder.
Dr. Marty might give us a check of the item inside Spectacle Rock. We haven't seen that from Notch.
True.
That looks like what we're doing. Gets that nice spin speed.
And we get 20 rupees.
Red rupee.
Meanwhile, Notch is going to keep zooming through here. Gets a little trolled by that last bit of spike hitbox. Yeah, so it looks like Notch will be slightly ahead on the routing overall here. We'll have to see how important the Pyramid Fairy is here as well. I'd find it a little unlikely that it's going to have a lot more value for us. But it's definitely possible. We're still, of course, looking for a lamp or any fire source, really. We still need the ice rod, which could be anywhere. We still need the mirror, which could be anywhere not behind swamp. And all that it takes to get us back on sequence is the flippers, and everything's back in sequence again.
Yep. Our runners have been doing dark rooms, but I don't think we found anything of importance on the other side of them.
I don't believe so. Aside from... No, never mind. I was going to say aside from... So the only real thing that I could see being locked behind it right now that would screw it up is if flippers are in a dark room. That's the one way that if we find flippers, we're not back on sequence. Not being trolled by where he's stopping to start his boot stashes. There we go. And off we go. Notch will have enough magic to be able to, of course, put the Samaria block down, as well as be able to... Oh, this freeze ore is gonna really could cause some problems, though. Okay, he did not run into the Samaria block again. That freeze ore may have eaten the Samaria block, which could have caused even further problems.
Notch heading into Cold Stare with 5.5 hearts and blue mail. That's a bit rough. I'm not sure what sort of healing items Notch has.
It's also not a huge problem, depending on how versed he is in the quick kill, because with Tempered Sword and Boots, you have all the tools you need to do the Tempered Sword quick kill. That ice could be a problem. Oh, yeah, we've got a problem now. I don't know if he still has a fairy. He might. He does.
Notch, you gotta dodge the ice.
Well, to be fair, that was actually probably the beneficial thing to do was get hit by the ice. The ice does less damage than cold stare blobs do. He's got to be really careful right now, though. He's either got to drink a potion or he's got to just play it really safe. Playing out the potion or pulling out the cape would have been the other option as well. Yeah, showing us that he would have actually been just fine without potioning, but you don't want to take that death.
I imagine we're going to see the Pyramid Fairy real soon from Notch. I can't imagine why you'd make this sequence break if that's not your intention.
Yeah. Well, there's a little bit of a difference when you find the bow and the boots in the sequence break, though.
Suppose that's true.
So it may not be an immediate play on his mind. We'll see if he goes to Sanctuary. He does. So he'll check both the boots locations very quickly here. We are going to get Spike Cave here. We didn't get Spike Cave the first time we were here, did we?
No, we haven't seen a Spike Cave.
So Dr. Mardio is going to show us that.
Neither of our runners checked King's Tomb. Notch is heading to the Bonk Rocks, might head over to King's Tomb. Dr. Marty only checked the Bonk Rocks and did not check the King's Tomb.
Yeah.
I'm not sure.
Tight.
There you go.
It's going to be really tight, though. The magic is really tight on the cape.
Yeah, and the cape has a bit of a delay when you pull it out of your inventory, so it was tight on starting up and tight on the magic at the end. But the Spike Cave, just a bomb upgrade.
Yep.
That's something.
Flute.
That flute is entirely in logic. So that gives us something to go on.
It puts it puts the first part of Death Mountain in logic, but that doesn't really matter.
It also gives us access to Misery Mire.
Which is not really what you want to see.
Actually, Misery Mire is... the dungeon itself is out of logic because both the hookshot and the boots are out of logic, and that's the entrance to Misery Mire.
True.
So the Mire Shed.
Yep, the Mire Shed, and whenever we get the Mirror Checkerboard Cave.
Oh yeah, that's right. Flute's not in logic, because the boots are in Ice Palace.
Oh, right, because it was the boots, yeah. So we know Mire's in logic once we... Okay, yep. So no, nothing's in logic, guys. There is absolutely nothing in logic in this seed at this point.
Yeah, this seed has been broken to pieces.
Except for what Dr. Mardio is doing right now. This is in logic. The bow part of it's not, but the rest of it is.
It looks like both of our runners are going to pod.
So both runners probably more or less hoping to see flippers and not much else in this dungeon, given the plays that they've made. As I've mentioned before, though, I'm half expecting to see Lamp in here somewhere as well. This game really seems to like to hide Lamp, like in the quadruple terrapin room in the back here. I don't know why, but it happens more often than it feels like it should.
That big key is not a good sign because it means that pod is bow locked.
Yeah, pod is bow locked, so nothing is in sequence here either.
Well,
nothing is in sequence here until we find the flippers, assuming the flippers aren't locked for some other reason once we find them. The flippers might be in Agonist Cave. I don't think we've seen an Agonist Cave check still.
The flippers could also be at the Magic Bat. Dr. Marty picked up the powder from the blacksmiths and then saved and quit and did not check the powder.
Yep. I think we've seen most of the other overworld checks. I'm trying to think what else could be in any logic right now. Turtle Rock can't be, because we can't even get there. Yeah, that's about it. It's really just those two locations. One of those two locations has to have Flipper. Or something that leads to Flippers. So the mirror would be a big one as well. The mirror could easily be one of those locations. The seed is ridiculous for how closely our runners are doing the same thing. That's almost the most ridiculous part about this seed.
Yeah, our runners are making crazy sequence breaks, basically in lockstep.
Like, and neither of these runners is going to have a good feel of how they're doing right now, because they probably both know they're sequence breaking a ton, and it's probably because they both feel really behind from all the early deaths in Thieves Town for both runners. Both the runners probably wasting about 10 minutes in Thieves Town to deaths. Probably a little bit less than 10 minutes, probably just closer to 5, but definitely both runners just feeling like the time they put into pod is probably why we're seeing this degree of silliness in how both runners are playing this. Okay, what do we have, Dr. Mardio? We lost it on the commentary restream side. Yeah, I think we lost Dr. Mardio for a bit here. Darn, we missed that Terrapin room. It wasn't the lamp, though, so we know that much. Uh-oh. Notch taking a dive to the Helmosaur. Red mail.
Not terrible. I mean, as we keep saying, if you're going to sequence break, safeties are a good thing to find. On Notch's side, we will just get a small key from the Terrapin room.
And so this room, I don't believe is required. I believe this is just another small key in the harmless hallway. It is. Dr. Mardio is not feeling confident with his dark maze, or at least I assume that's what's going on here. Not quite sure what Dr. Mardio's play is going to be here, because considering we don't have a fire source, the 6 Terrapin room in the basement is a nightmare. Like a very literal nightmare, so I'm not quite sure why he's making the play of skipping Dark Maze and not skipping this.
Yeah. Hey, Marty, you got the cane. Oh, you don't have any magic. Never mind.
You have no magic. Regular Marty problems.
Notch is giving us the Dark Maze.
Trying to avoid all the fire. Also, probably trying to get this chest at the top. See got that chest there? There we go. It's the compass. And to the right and up a little bit. To the right and down a little bit. And why is there a Dodongo there? And some item we don't know.
Dr. Marty is giving us the dark basement. If Dr. Marty can pull this off, that's, you know, doesn't have to come back to pod, except if there's something in the dark maze.
Why are we not in the right spot here? What's going on? That looks like you should be far enough right. Up and right. Come on, knock up and right. That's not where you want to be. You need to go down again. That doesn't look good. Okay, never mind. That looks good again. Okay, we're in the right spot now. We found the door. I think. Huzzah! We're through the dark maze. Meanwhile, Dr. Mardio...
Notch getting the tiny shield for his trouble.
Yep. Dr. Mardio is through the Terrapin room, I believe. I believe we are now in the area underneath. Yes, we are. Yep. So he is going to make it to Helmasaur just fine. I'll have to see what his play is afterwards. If he does decide to come all the way back out for... He may have decided that he'd rather just go back in for the Dark Maze rather than exit the Dark Maze and have to go all the way back through for Helmasaur afterwards. So we'll have to see if he decides to skip it entirely. I was about to say, you gotta be careful here, but he does have red mail, so Helmasaur actually not really much of a threat.
Yeah, gets Helmasaur down. Notch is going to go and finish Eastern, it looks like. Of course, that's a sequence break, because that bow is not in logic yet.
Not to mention the lamp that we still don't have.
That's right. At this point, we can probably just assume that everything our runners do is going to be sequence broken in one way or another.
Unless it's Agana's Cave or Powder.
Yep.
Or Purple Chest, actually, because we just haven't even seen Purple Chest yet. I believe those are the only 3 in-logic locations left at the moment. Dr. Mardio is going to find his flute. Notch wants more fairies. Does he have another bottle?
Yep.
He does, okay. Well, that's right, he did use the blue potion on Cold Stare.
Cold Stare. Well, Stream, we're in another dark room.
We're getting the logic item. We're getting an in-logic item check right here, right now. Here comes the hype, everyone. Here comes the hype. Is it the lamp? Is it the flippers? Is it the mirror? Is it the book? Is it the shovel? There's lots of items it could be, but it's in logic. Whatever it is, it's in logic. It could also be nothing, because we still have more in-logic location. And it trolled us. We have a frozen commentary restream.
What is it? What is it?
And the main restream also froze. We have no idea.
Oh, everything is trolling us. The internet is trolling us. The stream is trolling. The game is...
Well, hopefully... So let's keep a close eye on this menu here when he switches to the flute.
It was the flippers.
It was the flippers. That puts everything in sequence. So now nothing's a sequence break except for the dark rooms.
It puts everything except the things that are not.
Yeah, but what have we really got out of a dark room yet so far that's been of use?
Yeah, nothing from dark rooms.
Like we've gotten the red mail, but the red mail is of minor consequence in terms of completing the seed logically. We've killed Helmasaur, which is important, but not important in terms of go mode. We killed Armos. That didn't give us anything except for a blue pendant. And the problem is that effectively means that we know nothing more than we did before, because the flippers, all that flippers did was put us back on sequence for, like, Ice Palace. In terms of, like, it doesn't unlock anything that we haven't already seen, because they've already done everything we could do with flippers at the moment.
Well, flippers gets us flute, and that puts Death Mountain into logic. Flippers gets us boots from Ice Palace, which gets us flute from King's Tomb. Flute gets us to Death Mountain, so we have logical access to Turtle Rock now, but
True.
without the fire rod, there's a potential that we'll be stuck after one chest.
Yeah.
That also gives us the Pyramid Fairy, and it looks like Notch is not doing is doing that.
The runners, everything is trolling us.
Purple chest is 300 rupees.
And Agnes Cave check. We are finally going to get all 3 of the locations that we cared about initially. So what could be, really anything could be in here. Even the lamp can be in the Pyramid Fairy here, right?
Well, Dr. Marty gets the shovel from Agina.
Well, I said that was one of the items that could be from our logically expected plays. There's the mirror. That puts Swamp into logic. So I'll have to see what Notch's play is from here. I wouldn't expect that, I would expect the Frog Quest will be in the near future here. Depending on what we get from the shovel spot. Oh, good. The Fetch quest.
At least that is not a difficult check, and we're going to see it from Marty right now.
Yeah. Goodbye, D. We're getting potion instead. And we have Quake Medallion, which means little, but might be required for Meyer, but we don't know if Meyer's required.
Well, as far as the pedestal, we could have either rod on the pedestal, it looks like. And we need both of them for Turtle Rock.
Yeah. Either rod, the book doesn't matter right now that much, though. It could matter, because it could be a fetch quest, but it doesn't matter in terms of... We have access to Desert Palace now.
It looked to me like Meyer was the Bombos medallion.
It's of little consequence, as we already mentioned, though, because we know where all the medallions are at this point. There's the lamp!
So the lamp was locked behind the flute, which was locked behind the boots, which was locked behind the flippers, which was at the magic bat.
Yeah.
Hoo boy.
Everything's in logic now. Everything, we know where everything that we need to have to be where we currently are is. Both players don't have all said items yet, but...
Marty is opening Meyer. Did not check Checkerboard Cave.
And Geeky Fried Rice, yes, that was Shovel and Egg in his cave. Which leads to Mushroom, which leads to... Nothing?
Quake.
Oh,
Mushroom
Quake.
led to Quake.
Right.
But Quake isn't required for anything.
Effectively nothing. As effectively as you want to call that nothing.
Oh, that's right. Dr. Marty does not have the mirror. It's Nach who has the mirror. This seed. Wow.
Like, good luck telling who's ahead in this seed still. Like, both players still doing so much of the same things, but just different enough that they now have significantly different items. They're allowing significantly different access to the things they're able to do. And neither player having access to Swamp by themselves yet.
Checkerboard Cave is just a piece of heart.
Interesting that Notch is making the Meyer play before he's making the Desert play.
Yeah.
Yeah, very interested he's making that decision. Because there's no reason not to be doing desert right now. I can understand of course, being short on flippers affects some decision making that he can make, but with how this seed is going.
Notch, to answer in chat, Notch does have a fire source. Notch picked up lamp in Meyer Shed and will. Oh, we are going to see desert. Notch picked up lamp in Meyer Shed, so Notch has a fire source. Our tracker, Yoinkers will get on it, I'm sure, quite quickly.
It's hard to keep up with the silliness that this seed is right now.
So desert is, yeah, boots locked. Not that it matters. We have.
I was about to say, the flute was also boots locked, so that means literally nothing.
Yeah.
Everyone's favorite thing to do. The cutscene room with torch. Has it done, though? The amazing part is that we're still, like, we're still so far away from go mode, it feels like, too.
Yep, both of those rods are currently absent.
This just gets sillier and sillier. There's a vanilla big key. Are we seeing a Meyer dip now then, now that he's got both items? Why are you not finishing Desert Palace? What is our play here, Notch? What is our play? I don't know what we're doing at all, ever, this seed.
Notch still has Helmasaur, has the lamp, can do the basement a little more comfortably.
Okay, that's fair. Meanwhile, Dr. Mardio is going to get his Fisher-Price shield from a different location, because that's how progressive items work.
Long gone are the days of getting the butter sword in the first chest.
Yep, I wasn't around for those days, and I don't think I really miss it, because from the sounds of it, there was also the potential to degress your swords or something at that point.
Yeah, I wasn't around for it either. This is just fake nostalgia.
Well, let's see how important the Vitreous play is. I've not been at all paying attention to how many items we've got. I know we have one item because we had the shield. I don't know if we got another item in Meyer already. But either way, we do know that Vitreous is worth an item by virtue of he's the green pendant. So we do know there will be some value in this play. We'll see what that value is. And of course, not having book, we still can't check pedestal either, so it may very well be prudent for runners to be completing pendant dungeons just for that sake. Okay, Notch, let's see your Terrapin room. How is it? it's done. That's the important thing.
Meanwhile, Dr. Marty making quick work of Vitreous with the silver arrows.
Not quite the 0 cycle, but 1 cycle's still pretty darn fast. So of course that was the second item. It was as vanilla as we can call it anyways. Not sure that the heart containers are even separated aside from Sanctuary Heart. And so are we gonna see a flute to 5? Flute to 5 it is, so we will see immediate pendant turn in, I imagine. We may see the Eastern Palace completion too, depending on if Martio is starting to bank on Pedestal or not. Notch has already completed Eastern Palace on the other hand, though, so he will definitely not be making that play.
There is the Fire Rod from the Green Pendant. And we actually had a call of that in chat. We had Shady Forest Games calling that. Nicely done.
And where is your play, Notch? Where does his play need? His play needs to be the Frog Quest, right? And that may be what we're getting. So a quick reminder here, I believe we have 1 item left in Skullwoods. I believe we found 1 and there was 1 left because it was Fire Rod Block. And it may still be in the big chest even, depending on where the big key is.
I think Notch is realizing that he needs to finish off Desert.
Actually, I believe that the small chest under the bridge has to be a small key in this case. So there's actually no reason to check that item under the bridge. I am 95% sure it's a small key under there.
Well, Dr. Marty is going to test your hypothesis, Biffers.
He will. Of course, this won't be a definitive answer, but I am pretty sure, given the lack of small keys, that this one... Because Moth can't lock a small key. Or it could be the big key and the small key's in the big chest. I missed part of the hypothesis.
I wonder if... No, never mind. I was going to say something, but I don't even know anymore.
What do we know? We know we're pretty much in logic, because there's not a lot you can do to logic break at this point.
Yep. We're just waiting on that ice rod now.
Yep. So unless you know a way to kill Trinex without the ice rod, there's no more sequence breaking. Nice. He has a chance. Oh, it went sideways. Nicely done, though. Silver arrows killing the Lenmolas, 1 shot each.
You don't want to spin attack with the Tempered Sword, Dr. Marty. Spin attacks with the Tempered Sword, I don't think they do damage to Mothula.
Oh, they do. They still do, but they do tempered slash damage, so the only advantage is the bigger hitbox.
Okay.
Basically, tempered spins get the same treatment that butter does in general in the randomizer, where they have the rando devs have
tempered spins also get downgraded to temper. Okay, good to know.
Yeah. So they do get a bigger hitbox, although I don't really think staying stationary in that fight is something you really want to be doing. Now the next play for Dr. Martio. He's gonna check the big chest by the looks of it. I didn't even pay attention to what the item that Moth dropped was, but I assume it was an item, wasn't it?
I imagine if it was an item, then Dr. Marty would... We'll see if he makes the check. There are 2 items in Skullwoods. We already got one. That was the fighter's sword, way early on. It looks like Dr. Marty is going to make this check. So either this is the item, or Dr. Marty is not counting.
Because I'm still pretty sure this is a small key. Because we should have a small key, given that we've picked up every other small key. Yeah, there it is.
Yeah, that makes sense. So I guess... Okay.
And Turtle Rock Dip? Nope, not Turtle Rock Dip. So we're either getting the Desert Palace or Ice Palace clears here, probably. Looks like Ice Palace.
Yep.
It does make sense to do those before you go to Turtle Rock, because neither one...
That's a good call in chat. Marty needs to get Ether from Tower of Hera before he can get into Turtle Rock.
Ah, that too. All the pendant dungeons required. Like, silliness. Can't remember if Eastern was actually required, or if it was just sort of, we got locked out of locations and both players did Eastern.
The hammer was in the big chest of Eastern.
That's right, okay, so yeah, all pendant dungeons required. Which has sort of been the opposite of what we've been seeing what I've been seeing a lot of late.
Yeah, version 29 has usually been pretty nice in terms of skipping out on the pendants, but not this time. Now we gotta make sure that Notch does this check right away. Goes to the hammer. Yep, we're gonna see this. Notch is gonna get the flippers and restore some sanity to his own game.
So with this, I would probably give Notch the current edge in terms of knowing what needs to be done. He will likely head straight to Swamp Palace after this.
Our restreamer, Thelaine, is hoping for Ice Rod on Pedestal to add to the troll of this seed. I think even more troll would be Ice Rod on a tablet and Book on Pedestal, because then we'd have to make the blind pull.
I think we're already on our way to making a blind pull either way. But that depends on where we find the Ice Rod, so... Notch is going to grab the purple chest, probably going to flute to... Gonna mirror again, then flute to... No, he's gonna make a walk.
All of Swamp is also available. Marty would have to get the mirror from the Pyramid Fairy, but with 6 items in Swamp, there's a decent chance the Ice Rod's in there.
Yeah, and that's what I mentioned before. There's no reason for Notch to put off Swamp. He's just doing this routing at the same time, which is smart.
Yeah.
He could have mirrored and fluted over, and it would have been probably faster, but part of his problem is he's missing these hookshot dashes. Oh, we also wanted to get this check in. Okay, this makes more sense. Forgot that we hadn't seen this yet. Half magic. He'll take that.
Yep.
All these locations. I don't know who's checked what anymore. No wonder Notch walked over. Time to fly away and go check the mirror or the mushroom immediately. Looks like it.
He's gonna turn in the purple chest first, it looks
Turn
like.
in the purple chest first, yep.
Meanwhile, Dr. Marty has enough magic to take on Cold Stare.
You don't need a lot when you're using Bombos.
Yep. the Bombos medallion uses the same amount of magic as 2 fire rod shots, so Dr. Marty has a couple more shots in reserve to use here.
Nice job quickly killing one of the puffs just to make this fight a little simpler for himself. Doesn't have a lot of magic left otherwise, but that shouldn't matter. Yeah, there it goes. Notch picks up his Quake, as useful as it is this seed. Are we getting the swamp play? We are. That's not going to work, Notch.
Yeah. So Notch is going to experience a little bit of disappointment shortly. You have to come in from the Dark World and mirror to the dam to drain the dungeon.
Yeah, unfortunately, the dungeon does not stay drained when you leave the screen. Only the middle... He may have misunderstood the recent patch notes for V29, saying that the swamp will stay drained.
Mirror doesn't work in that direction, Notch.
If only it did, this game would have been a lot different.
Marty is heading back into Pod, probably to I check that dark room, the dark maze that was left behind.
He might also be routing in an Eastern Palace check with this as well. Eastern Palace clear.
Marty has not picked up the mirror yet, so there's no easy way to get to Eastern.
Okay, so never mind.
Now that Marty has the red crystals from Thieves and then from Ice, the mirror is in Pyramid Fairy.
Yep. Well, he's going to be the first one to fire shield, I think. Yes, he is. So, you know, there's something. Not sure it's really the prize you're looking for, but it's something. We are getting a hammer jump here, which is an interesting decision at this time. And we'll get to find out if he made it very shortly. He did. Got his fire shield. And if he was counting items, he would now know that it's already empty, but he's going to go pick up his compass. Map in the first meaningful chest to swamp. So, we'll probably... There's a good chance we'll just see the left side check from the start. Although with... Well, no, sorry. Notch is still 2 items from Go mode, so... Yeah, likely we'll see the left check first. We could still definitely see the straight to Argus play. I actually like that play a lot if you don't have the big key before you get to the big chest.
I think Dr. Marty is on the way to Turtle Rock.
Which might work out.
It depends on where that ice rod is.
Yep, if the ice rod's in Mimic Cave, it's unfortunately a huge blunder. Hopefully it's not in Mimic Cave. Or is, for anyone who enjoys that kind of thing. Oh, you can't even do it, so yeah, we're getting the Tower of Hera play here.
That's right.
Can't even go into Turtle Rock for... Dr. Mario can't even go into Turtle Rock yet. But whether he'll go after Hera is... we'll see. I would expect that there's a decent chance he does. Okay, you can do it, Nock. You can pick up that skull. This statue.
Yeah, you kind of have to flail on your directional pad a little bit to get that skull when the statue is on top of it.
calculated fall from Dr. Mardio. He got the ether and he's piecing out. He's like, nope, I'm doing the Turtle Rock play. And if this is the right play, this will put him... I would shift the advantage back to Mardio if this is the correct play. That's a problem, though, Dr. Mardio. You can't open Turtle Rock from here.
Not without the mirror.
I wonder how far he'll get. The mirror is in the Pyramid Fairy chest. It's or one of the Pyramid Fairy chests. It's so he has full access to it. He just hasn't checked it yet. There we go. He has noticed. And what play does he make from here? That doesn't look like he's going to Turtle Rock, or else he would have refilled his hearts. But maybe he is?
Maybe. Dr. Marty elected to slash the old man instead of talking to him. That's not very nice.
No, it's not the old man's fault that anything in the scene's gone on. He was just stuck in a cave because he had no light. And our runners, being the intrepid explorers they are, were also without light managed to rescue him. So you know. So we did have Notch skip the left side initially. He is going back in now.
Gets dead rocked.
Nice fairy pickup there. Okay, we got through. The race is back on now. We had a little pit break there while we waited for Dead Rocks to unrock themselves. And let's go find out what's in Turtle Rock. We can do every location in Turtle Rock except for Mimic Cave and Trinex. Unless we find the Ice Rod in here, then we can do Trinex.
The Ice Rod will put us into no mode. Once we know where that Ice Rod is, we will know exactly what our runners need to do, but both of our runners are still each multiple items away from go mode.
Yeah.
They both need the Ice Rod. Dr. Marty needs the mirror from the Pyramid Fairy, and Notch needs the Fire Rod, which is at Sahasrara, for the green pendant turn-in.
So this seat is still just a matter of checks at this point. Yeah, I think we decided the book was on pedestal. I think that's accurate. So book's on pedestal, and then Ice Rod is on a tablet. That's the current going theory.
Sounds plausible to me.
That must have been all items. I didn't, because we didn't get that last item check, but I'll trust that Notch knows what's going on here.
Dr. Marty, with another dramatic stream hiccup, we did not see what was in that chest down there.
Notch is going to make the same play that Dr. Marty is making. We may also see a clear of Tower of Hera in here as well. Notch, of course, has already gotten both items out of Tower of Hera, but depending on how he wants to play everything here... Oh, right, forgotten that Notch hadn't checked this yet. So he finds out it's nothing, but at least he knows it's nothing now. Notch may also do a Spike Cave check. I believe it's Notch that hasn't done that yet. I can't remember.
Yeah, given that Notch is picking up some health here, that's probably what we're going to see, and it is.
Yep.
For those of you who want some health before you head into Spike Cave, the 4 bushes, north, south, east, and west, have a chance for hearts or fairies.
Very solid hook shot play here. Oh, I'm not sure that was worth it. Okay, he made it. Woo! That was tight. And Vanilla Big Key Chest, are you going to do this to me again? It's always been me as the racer, but will it be me as the commentator? No. No, it won't. Some nice, easy laser bridge coming up, though, for Dr. Martio.
Yep, if you're going to find the mirror shield, finding it before laser bridge like that makes you feel a little happier. I'm sure he'd much rather see the ice rod. The ice rod indeed can be anywhere. Can't be on Trinex, can't be in Ganon's Tower, it could be anywhere else.
Pretty much. Especially since we currently have the items to complete every dungeon. The only other location that's of any real questionability is the... Well, there's not really anything yet. As long as nothing's locked behind Ganon's Tower or Trinex, it's where the ice rod could be. Like, I believe it could still be Graveyard Ledge. Did we get a Graveyard Ledge check from Notch at some... No, there's the ice rod.
We don't have to worry about it. So, we as commentators are in no mode. We know where everything is. Our runners are still looking. That's a big find for Dr. Marty. If Dr. Marty gets to the Pyramid Fairy to get the mirror soon, that puts him at a big advantage.
Yeah. Notch, on the other hand, I believe is going to be locked out of Turtle Rock fairly quickly here. I don't believe the keys were quite in place to allow progression without the Fire Rod. We shall see here, though.
Where was Fire Rod in chat? We had Fire Rod on Sahasrara, requiring you to kill Vitreous for the green pendant.
But yeah, I would give the edge back to Dr. Martio at the moment. I would say Dr. Martio is in the lead at the moment. He's going to have only... Oh, he still hasn't finished Desert, but Desert is pretty darn fast either way. We'll see what else we have on Laser Bridge here. Dr. Martio going to swag out with the dash strats even though he's got Riot Shield.
Yep, Notch finds the big key in that first chest, so there's nothing else that can be done in Turtle Rock without the Fire Rod.
So that's not going to be overly unfortunate for him, because he will, once he gets the Fire Rod in the near future, he will hopefully be pretty much right on track at that point. Once he gets the Fire Rod, I'm sure he will do Skull Woods, and then he will immediately go ahead and finish through. Now he's hovering on 6. He's making the play. What are we checking here, Notch? Where are we going?
Sick kid. We know this is nothing, but...
It's a fair quick check.
Not showing some pretty decent memory, remembering the Sick Kid check, remembering to check inside Spectacle Rock.
Dr. Martio's got to be careful here. One more Fire Rod shot. Well, he's got a green potion. He'll probably be fine. He'll just... Yeah, okay. He even got it anyways.
Gets it in with the last scrap of magic. Notch is going to go into Misery Mire, it looks like.
Yep. Which is the right place, so we're gonna be really close in this race, folks. As long as Dr. Mario does not delay the 5-6, the Pyramid Fairy check for too much longer. Nice butter sword.
Well, the mirror locks all of Dr. Mario's remaining crystals, because without the mirror, can't get to Desert, and without the mirror, you can't get the... Wait a minute, what am I talking?
You can't get into Swamp.
Yeah, yep. That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, so good chance here that we'll see Dr. Mario likely going straight there. His only other play really is Pendant Dungeons, and I don't think he'll be doing that before he... I don't know.
Flute is not the right play here.
Where are we going?
Pendant Eastern, it looks like.
Yep. Yeah, we are going to do Pendant Dungeons.
For a brief, merciful minute now, both of our runners are going to be doing things we've seen already from the other side. So why don't you take this opportunity to throw both of our runners a follow? They have been doing some crazy stuff. I don't know about you, Spiffers. I've been very entertained.
Been entertained, been confused, been exasperated. We don't know what's going on in this seed. Well, okay, we know what's going on now. But for the longest time, for about an hour straight, we didn't know what the seed intended us to do. I can't remember where the other item was in this dungeon. I know there was a heart on Vitreous.
The progressive shield was in the big chest.
Right, okay. So we're gonna full clear the dungeon at this point then. Not that there's a lot more to full clearing the dungeon at this point. Niftily done, not getting hit by the whiz ropes there. Oh, that might lose him just enough time that he'll have to go relight those torches again. Yeah, he's not even gonna wait. Lost time a couple times there. It's not, of course, not really a huge issue by any means. So now this basically this entire seed comes down to, does Dr. Mario check the Pyramid Fairy before Notch checks the green pendant?
I can't imagine Notch finishing the green pendant dungeon and then not immediately fluting to 5 and checking that.
I would expect him to be very quick anyways. I could see him doing some other routing depending on exactly how he wants to play it. So, for instance, like I mentioned before, the Graveyard Ledge still not being a location that's been checked.
I think Notch might have checked it. I'm not sure.
Yeah. But it should definitely be very, very top of mind for him. But the one other thing is that he does know that he's already full cleared every other dungeon. So that is one of the things that's leading to Misery Mire right now. So any overworld location that he has not checked yet may very well be a place where he goes before Green Pendant. Not likely, but it's possible.
So Marty with the flute to 4 would be on good track. Yeah.
Okay.
That's what we're seeing.
We're going to be looking at a real tight finish to this race, everyone. We're not going to be in sync go mode, not quite. We're not going to be that good, but we're going to be in... But these races are going to be very close together because we're going to have a 2 dungeon to 1 dungeon clear for each player once we have... Oh no, it is 2 dungeons each. So I would put Dr. Mardio actually fairly ahead at this point. Both Desert Palace and Swamp Palace being very fast crystals in Go mode. Skullwood's also being decently fast, but Turtle Rock not so much.
Yeah, the only advantage with Turtle Rock is that Notch will make that climb, but Notch already lost time making a climb to Turtle Rock without the Fire Rod. So, yeah, it's going to be close. I think Dr. Mardio does indeed have that edge.
But that being said, definitely still a race. This is still anyone's to win or lose. Yeah, it's true. Notch won't be in Go mode, but I expect that as soon as he gets the Fire Rod, he'll be going to Turtle Rock, and he'll clear Turtle Rock till he is in Go mode. Although, granted, he'll go to Skullwoods first, so I say that, and it will be a little delayed, most likely. So yeah, so there's still lots that could happen on the seed to throw Notch off potentially.
The Fire Rod was at Sahasrara with Green Pendant, and the Ice Rod is in the big chest of Turtle Rock. With that mirror, Dr. Marty O is in Go mode at just about 1 hour and 56 minutes.
For two runners that are playing as well as these two are, that's one heck of a late Go mode.
Dr. Mario has the Butter Sword. I didn't catch where he got that.
He got it on Trinex.
Okay.
Dr. Mardio, you need a big key. Maybe that's just your preferred mirror location, which is fair enough. So Notch is making the right play here. Gonna use the hook shot to get hook shot speed. And picks up his Fire Rod. So that should be immediately to Skullwoods. I guess immediately to Hobo, the actual answer. I'm a little surprised it wasn't immediately to Skullwoods, because Skullwoods is the one that you know is 100% completable beforehand, and there's still, and I think there was still an item there. But hey, as I said, overworld locations have interlaced by his checks have sort of been his thing so far, so not unexpected by any means.
Yeah, so here's the flute to 3. We're going to head into the Dark World and use that Fire Rod for its intended purpose of barbecuing a moth.
Yeah.
Or at least getting to a moth. We might see Tempered Sword on the moth.
So we're seeing Dr. Mardio probably more than a dungeon ahead at this point. Just by virtue of how short Swamp is compared to Turtle Rock. But anything can happen. Both players will have Silver Zen Butter Swords, so that's not going to be a real issue. Both players have red mail. Both players have plenty of hearts. I'm pretty sure both players have lots of potions, so it's really an execution battle at this point. I do see a comment about Swamp Go Mode versus Turtle Rock not Go Mode, but Turtle Rock in not Go Mode isn't a lot of different than Turtle Rock in Go Mode. The one problem, of course, is that Notch will have to find a key on, will have to get that small key on Laser Bridge.
But we'll probably have the mirror shield by that point, since the last shield upgrade is on the lava island in Turtle Rock.
Yeah. And that's the reason why he'll have to do that chest. Because he can't skip the vanilla big key chest because he's not going to have the ice rod yet. I wouldn't put it too strictly as over. I was probably similarly behind in my race yesterday and made a comeback because my opponent forgot to grab a small key after big key and after finding the big key in Ganon's Tower, and that's about a 6-minute loss by itself. Now, granted, you could argue that's a crazy circumstance, but anything can happen still in the remainder of this race. So hopefully Notch knows that that's both items and doesn't wait around anymore. Ooh, did not count the items. Oh, okay.
Check, sees that he got his dungeon items, or does not have his dungeon items, and heads out.
Yeah, he knows that he needs another small key, and he knows the big key is just going to lead to the small key. So good confirmation in that case. It's a little difficult when you do the first Skull Woods check at, what, 30 minutes into the race? And you clear it at 2 hours? So yeah, especially because of because Turtle Rock is Notch's last dungeon, it's part of the reason why Notch makes up a couple minutes just in the fact that his traversal time to his final dungeon is going to not be required after he completes this final dungeon as well. This race is going to be... I don't think we're looking at more than about a 2-minute separation between these runners right now. Oh no!
This is unfortunate.
This will cost him about a minute. Or he's just going to ditch it.
Not trying to... Oh no.
Because he won't go all the way for the pedestal play, I don't think. I think this is more of a play to find the second item. I could be wrong. I could very easily be wrong on that call. But there is a decent chance that he dips the dungeon after he finds the second item in the big chest.
I think we already have both items from Hera.
Does Notch have both of them?
I think so.
Oh, right, it was Mario that did it second. So yeah, you're probably right. Yeah, so cancel all of that. Yep, Dr. Mario, unfortunately, now significantly in the lead.
So we're going to see Moldorm for the first time in this seed at 2 hours and 4 minutes.
Because I see no reason why he does this before the Turtle Rock dip and doesn't immediately go to check pedestal. Although there is one reason why he could do it, and that's if he knows the escape plan play, he may go through Turtle Rock, and if he doesn't get it, he may then mirror out on one of the escape exits, leave his portal there, go do pedestal without going into the Dark World, and then go back and jump straight into the portal. But that's not what we're getting.
Nope. Well, Dr. Marty has his last crystal and is going to be heading to Ganon's Tower. We don't have a leaderboard like on Speed Gaming, but there are 22 locations in Ganon's Tower that can hold the big key. So get some guesses in chat, and we'll see who's right. You win bragging rights.
Yep. So unfortunately, Dr. Mario has lost video feed. I have just double-checked his channel. Well, that's an item.
Well, there is your inferior boomerang on the pedestal.
Yep. What was that? The infrared boomerang? Just kidding. All right. And... oh no, Notch. Not like this. Okay, we're good. Oh, we're not gonna... well, this is disappointing. We have no idea who's gonna win the big key guessing game because Mario is already on his ascent of Ganon's tower. So unfortunately, we'll have to do the big key guessing game with Notch, yep. No, that might not even tell us not Tile Room. With the way both these races have been playing, he could have very well gambled on Tile Room. I don't think the number's going to be higher than 10, unfortunately, though. All of that being said, Notch is going to have his own routing, so who knows? Anyways, as we go here, of course, Notch just speeding his way through as much as he can here. Seeing if he can make up time. Dr. Mario, of course, did remember a small key, so he will not be locked out at the top of the tower, so this is entirely comes down to his execution on the rest of the tower and on Ganon. And given that it is red mail, butter sword, silver arrows, not likely to have any issues, but you never know. Fortunately, missing getting a hit on both Lanmolas there. There we go. Lanmolas 2 is down. Yeah, don't despawn the sprites. That would be a good way to lose the race. A frame perfect anti-trick. As we keep speeding along here. Missed the room, unfortunately, on our end. Yeah, looks like we missed the Wizrobe room there. Always those fun rooms there. Mario taking the tactical fall off there to get back faster.
Notch might lose a little bit of time if he elects to check the Mimic Cave before the big chest.
Which he likely will do. Probably not going to have much of an outcome on this race. Not unless Mario does take a death at the top of the tower here. Because even at this point, falls to Ganon, we'd be talking about 2 or 3 falls to Ganon, I believe, at this point, to have a chance of him coming back. As we said, there's that check. Sword beams are a pain in the butt to have against mimics. Nicely done, Dr. Mardio. Nice. Moldorm 2 tried to troll him a little bit, but he didn't let it get him down. Skips the last chest there. Can't blame him. There's not much he's going to get out of that. He could have been trying to look for half magic, but he doesn't know that because of course he doesn't know it's not there.
Yep, and with Butter Sword and Silver Arrows, half magic is not at all required unless something goes wrong.
Yeah.
Half magic, of course, is never required, but even with... It's nice, but with Butter Sword, not really that important.
This might be a decent triple setup. Well, not if he shoots a blue ball at us. There's 2 doubles, though. He has a decent chance of being able to finish it on this cycle. Ugh, just missed it. Should be nice and easy. There we go.
The Geometry Wizard goes down.
And off to fight the pig. Nicely making use of his riot shield, and he's going to get the key on the second chest here, I believe. Oh no, it was on the... Okay, it was on the second overall chest. He's going to get it on his last chest, unfortunately, by the looks of it.
That's how it works. It's always the last chest you check.
Yeah.
Dr. Mardio already in the second phase of Ganon. We're going to see some cape strats to get to the third phase real quick.
Let's go grab a wall. Or not. He's got potions, though. It really is largely irrelevant. I think he's got 2 or 3 blue potions at this point. And please, tell us about those silver arrows, Ganon. As long as we don't take a fall here, everything is fine.
And even if we do take a fall here, Dr. Mardio is in a pretty commanding lead at this point.
Yeah. Looks like we're going to probably need a potion refill here. I think the torch is going to go out. So, a little bit more lost time to having to use the potion. Not really going to matter by any way whatsoever. I'm going to mute for a moment here and go see if I can invite Dr. Mardio into a chat with us here. As the pig goes down.
Everybody get your GGs in chat for Dr. Mardio, our winner today. Dr. Mardio has finished with an official Speed Racing TV time of 2 hours, 14 minutes, and 45 seconds.
Yeah, so GG to Dr. Mardio. I was going to wait on his response to see if he wants to come in for an interview, but that was a seed. Made much more interesting by the decisions that we had that with all the sequence breaking we had. All right, in the meantime, let's find out what our key count is. 1, 2, we have a small key. Almost went through the small key door.
Yes. You generally don't want to burn your small key there.
No, if you do, then you'll get that key sanity race like from the fall tourney.
Well, there it is, number 3 on the torch.
And welcome, Dr. Mardio, and GG on the race.
Thanks very much. It was a race.
It was a race. It was a very interesting race to watch. Both of you did like the same things, like all the way through the race.
I'm hoping he didn't do the same blunder I did and go into the wrong save file.
No, he didn't do that. You cost yourself your own 30 seconds on that blunder.
Yeah, I don't know what I was thinking.
You both died like 2 or 3 times in Thieves Town at the start.
Okay.
You both sequence broke Ice Palace and got everything, and didn't get it. We were out of sequence for what, 40 minutes straight or something dumb like that.
Until the lamp came up, yeah, I think that was the case.
Until the flippers came up, the lamp didn't do the lamp helped too, but the lamp didn't block much except for like red mail.
Yeah.
Which doesn't really do a lot for the logic. But
no, the flippers. Oh no, not the lamp. Never mind. Now I'm getting mixed up. Sorry, it was a long 2 hours.
Definitely the flippers that they gave you the boots and the
hook shot as well.
And
Yep,
yes, the boots, the hook shot, and
the bow. The bow was in ice.
And the bow, and then the boots locked, and then of course the boots locked the flute as well.
Yeah.
And as it turns out, the boots locked the cannon's tower big key.
Oh, that would have been a horrible thing to find out at the last minute.
Well, you had to have the boots by that point.
Yeah.
Dr. Mardio, about those flippers, when you got the powder from the Smiths, you saved and quit. You didn't check it right away. Was that just a mental blank there?
Yeah, the simple answer is I'm an idiot.
we were confused that time. But yeah, so it was very interesting watching because both of you were sequence breaking Ice Palace at the same time.
Wow, that's something. That's ridiculous, actually.
Yeah, and you were both in out of sequence dark rooms in pod at the same time. We had dark rooms on the left and right at the same time.
Wow, that is very weird because I was full sure that what I was doing was very stupid, and I was just panicking.
Well,
so
and
it's nice to know I've like the reassurance that he was doing the same.
Well, that's sort of what I figured. I have a feeling that both of you we wasted 5+ minutes in Thieves Town. We need to make up lost time. And you both did it in basically the same way because the seed let you because of how much stuff was locked by Flipper.
Yeah.
Like the divergence didn't occur until the divergence basically occurred because you died in Ice Palace. I'm pretty sure. Because he finished Ice Palace the first time he was there, so he had the mirror much earlier, and the ice rod was his go mode, whereas you got the ice rod and then eventually found the mirror a little bit later.
Yeah, and I remember my dip into Ice Palace as well, where I got to the end, thought, oh no, I have no magic, I have to leave, and then realized, I have potions.
And then unfortunately, Notch made the play after he got. So he finished up Skull Woods after he got the Fire Rod, but then he made the play to finish. Tower of Hera was his only uncompleted pendant. So he made the play to do Tower of Hera and do the pedestal. Otherwise, I figure he wasn't more than about 2 minutes behind you.
I'll be honest, I was thinking the same thing to go to pedestal until I realized I had the 2 red crystals, because I realized I hadn't checked my map for the Dark World up to that point. I had just figured, okay, I know where all the crystals are. I don't necessarily need to know what color they are.
You were the one that talked to Sahasrara then, weren't you? That was once again a long time ago.
That was me. Yeah, that was. I could not believe my luck when I did that. I thought I'll take a chance on Meyer. Things are pointing me that direction. I'll give it a go, and yeah, it just paid off.
Yes, every single pendant dungeon was required this seed. We had the hammer in the big chest in Eastern, we had the ether medallion for getting into Turtle Rock in Tower of Hera, and we had that green pendant which gave us the fire rod.
Yeah, so it wasn't just me. That was actually a horrible seed, yeah?
Yeah. Well,
yeah.
So
horrible for the runner. I'm sure chat was enjoying it. We were very entertained by the plays we saw on both sides.
Yeah, I imagine you had a great time.
Both of you skipping the flippers for such a long time probably made it feel worse than it actually was.
I assume he fake flippered as well, yeah?
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
God.
He didn't have flippers for much later than you did.
Where did I find them again?
It was on the magic bat. You could have had it
the magic bat.
way earlier. Because that's why we were asking you before once you did the Smiths, you could have done magic powder. They literally gave you magic powder, and they're like, "Hey, look, there's a magic bat right there."
Yeah, there's a couple of times I did that where I just completely did not think. At the same time, I would have down to the shovel game twice, and I thought, while I'm here, may as well get some rupees.
So it was a tight one. Notch, of course, just finished Moldorm 2, is on his way to the Aga 2 fight right now.
Right. That was pretty tight now, so yeah, I'm disappointed that I'd won that race, to be honest, because I thought that was just a terrible run.
You're at 1:53:11 in-game time for you. That's a time.
Jesus. That's yeah. I had good fun though. Stressful but good fun.
All sorts of silliness in there. You'll hear me get exasperated through my cast. Don't worry. If you go back and listen to this, don't worry.
Oh, I'm sure I will. I imagine you guys are pulling your hair, thinking, "No, go back to the bat, damn it! What are you doing?"
Well, and so do you realize what was in Logic by the time you found the flippers way after? Do you know how many locations were in Logic at that point?
None, I'm guessing. No, just
So that was
just
so
Swamp
obviously
Palace, yeah? Just Swamp Palace?
No, Swamp Palace wasn't in Logic yet once you found it became Logic once you found the flippers, but obviously it's not Logic without the flippers. So the locations that were available were Magic Bat, obviously, Purple Chest, which I think had 300 rupees or something, and Agana's Cave. Those were the only locations you guys had in Logic, but instead you went and sequence broke everything.
Yeah, we broke sequence so much we just sort of forgot where we were going, I'm guessing.
We kind of all did, yeah.
Sorry to confuse you so much.
Where was that lamp again?
That was in Meyer Shed.
Right, Meyer Shed. I'm like, it wasn't in Meyer. That's why, yeah.
No, it wasn't, but then I realized when I got the lamp that I have everything I need to beat Meyer, so I thought, it's worth doing. At this point, I thought I had lost anyway, so I thought, I'll go in for the run. What's the worst that could happen?
So thinking about that, Meyer continues its trend of having the item required to complete it in the Meyer area. Because the lamp was required to beat Meyer, which was required to then beat the seed because it was vanilla big key to get the green, which you needed to get. You need fire source for to get to the green pendant. Frig.
Yeah, whatever about this logic, it's really pointing things in that direction.
Yeah, Meyer just seems to have something that's required in it every time. Oh no! Does Notch have a fairy?
Yes, Notch does have a fairy.
Oh, thank God.
It should be okay, probably. Yeah, he should be fine now. A full fairy refill on phase 3 with butter and silvers on top of the potions that he has will be 100% fine. So I expect he'll finish in about the next minute and a half or so. Oh, we also so Notch found the half magic on the graveyard ledge, or not the graveyard ledge. Sorry, the
Cave south of Grove, I think that was.
yeah, the cave south of Grove.
Oh yeah, all the places I didn't bother checking because I got the mirror. The mirror got me in gold mode, so I thought there was no need to check those places.
Exactly. Especially with the items you had at that point, there was. Well, he got an unbuffered regular sword hit. That's always fun.
Say again?
He managed to slash Ganon without stunning him with his sword.
I think I did that twice actually.
Good times.
Everyone, Notch has put forth some good effort to finish up this race. Notch has finished with an official time of 2 hours, 25 minutes, and 56 seconds. Let's give him some GG.
GG indeed.
Yeah, GG.
What a seed.
I hope you guys enjoyed yourself at least.
One of those seeds that's, once again, worse when you know how to sequence break than not.
Yeah, in retrospect, the sequence break wasn't a good idea.
Because when you open up too much at once, you have that problem. Then when you open it up by sequence break, you're like, now what?
Yeah, sure, by the end I had trouble even figuring out, well, what I got in dungeons as well as what was in sequence. That's why I went back to Eastern again to try to see if I'd forgotten an item in there.
Alright, I'm just inviting Notch in. We'll see if we get a response there. But yeah, in the meantime, let's just take a quick look at what we've got coming up in the future here for everyone. Want to make sure that, of course, if you're enjoying this race, make sure you follow all the Link to the Past randomizer channels. You're on the first one right now, so follow 2 through 4 as well if you're not already. And of course, we have a lot of these being restreamed on Speed Gaming as well. So follow Speed Gaming through 1 through 6, and there'll be plenty more there as well. In terms of races going on in the near future, we have a race on Speed Gaming 2, Speed Gaming 4, both about a half hour in. We have a race starting at 5. Looks like we've got Liam Atlas versus Cassidy Moen starting at 5. We've got Willard J. Bradley versus Musharon Quipet at 6 on Speed Gaming 3. And Taser 1 versus Thelane also at 6 on ALTTP Randomizer 2. So I'm sure there'll be plenty more on later tonight as well. So you can always take a look out, and there's plenty of racing to be had.
Well, while we're talking about Thelane, let's give Thelane some big thanks for doing our restream today, and also let's give a huge amount of thanks to Yoinker's wife for doing the tracking, keeping us on top of everything. Those two deserve some follows as well.
For sure, and thank you very much for being a commentator with me here today, Firewood King.
Absolutely, it's been fun. While you're in the following mood, why don't you head over to Spiffers Legrand's profile, head over to my profile. Following is free. Follow everyone.
All right, so we should get Notch in here very shortly here. I believe. There he is. GG Notch.
Oh.
That was a seed.
Yeah, that was interesting.
So you'll probably be interested to know that you and Dr. Mardio did the same thing through pretty much the entire seed.
Oh wow, that's interesting. I mean, it didn't give a lot of options.
The one exception was that you found the mirror earlier on because Dr. Mardio didn't have enough magic to finish Ice Palace.
Oh, that's
Whereas he got the fire rod early and was therefore able to get the ice rod before you did, which led to him not making the same gamble that you did at the end of the seed there.
Yeah, I thought it was something like that. Oh well.
I thought you might have done that in the expectation of being able to full clear Turtle Rock, and then if it wasn't in there, like mirror out and go fly to, like, mirror out on a safety ledge, then fly to the pedestal, and then be able to go back and enter the back door into Turtle Rock again without having to go through the whole dungeon again.
Yeah, I thought about that, and then I thought, well, you know what? I could go to the pedestal, go clear Hera, and that's what I did.
Well, no, but that's what I mean. Like after you've cleared Hera, I'm like, maybe he'll just go to Turtle Rock and he'll, like, go out on the safety ledge and mirror away, and then you never have to enter Dark Worlds.
Yeah, that's true. I just thought, well, I'm just gonna go to the pedestal, and then I thought when I got to the pedestal, oh, this is gonna troll me so bad.
The red meringue.
That's why I put the bombs next to the pedestal before I pulled it.
No, and you were probably about 2 minutes behind if you just made the straight to Turtle Rock play.
Yeah, I thought about that.
But
like after I saw Dr. Marty finish, I realized, well, I could have been like a couple of minutes, behind only. But it was a hilarious seed. What the hell? It's amazing.
no, I was about to say, it was a seed that was made worse by sequence breaking.
Yeah, I realized that too. I realized that when I sequence break, I was like, dang it, this was a bad decision.
Well, and so while we were watching, what we realized were the only in-sequence locations by the time that you guys finished so much of that stuff. The only in-sequence locations that we had left between the two places were, so Dr. Martio did a silly thing of he completed the smiths and didn't immediately go to turn in the powder.
Oh.
So he would have been even more ahead probably if he'd turned that in immediately. But so we knew that the only things left in sequence were Magic Bat,
yep,
Agnes Cave, and Purple Chest.
Yep.
So we're like, well, there's not a lot of options left for where their progression's going to be, but
I jumped into Ice Palace because why not?
I think it was you, Notch, wasn't it? That you were on your way to Pod, and then you're like, nah, I'm going Ice Palace instead.
Yeah. Yep. I said, like, I don't want to go to Pod.
It wouldn't have been too bad either. If you just finished opening Pod, you would have been locked out immediately, and you would have saved that extra time. But hey, gotta make your plays.
Yeah, did I have the lamp by then? I don't think I had the lamp.
You did not. Neither of you had the lamp or the flippers for a long, long time.
And what was in Pod? I don't think there was anything interesting there, right?
Red mail.
Red mail.
Red mail, a shield upgrade. I think that was it.
Yeah, it was a terrible place.
As probably indicated by the fact that it was which is probably why it was bow locked by flippers, which by the time you got flippers, you unlocked everything.
Yep. And I forgot, where were the flippers?
They were a Magic Bat.
Magic Bat, right. I have a problem that whenever I finish a seed, I forget everything I did. I really don't know what I just did.
Don't worry, we were forgetting where everything was, because aside from both of you oh, I don't think we mentioned this to you yet. Both of you sequence broke Ice Palace you were both in sequence break Ice Palace at the same time.
Amazing. The Mason sync there.
And then of course you were both in sequence break Pod after that, because you then both got the bow and you both went to sequence break Pod, which was double sequence break because it was also lampless.
Yep, we had you both in dark rooms just stumbling around at the same time.
Somehow I successfully cast your ability to get through the dark maze. I'm not quite sure how. So if you want to see
the dongles messed me up because I usually, like, I know the route. I practiced it today before getting to the race, I was like, I got this. And never in the practice, I got, mess around with it at all. And I was like, God damn it, can't find my way now.
Anyways, we should probably get this wrapped up. I would imagine that everyone's had plenty of fun in this seed, and there's plenty of discussion to go around. Any final words either of our runners have for everyone out there?
I don't think I have anything. I think I gave it my all there. It's a shame that, I went for that pad move because I was like, you know what? I don't care.
Yeah, I think we were both in the frame of mind that Ped was the next logical move. Then we're just lucky that we got the item we needed.
I now that I remember, I know that I had early access to Mire. Like I went to Mire real quick, but I didn't go there because I knew that I didn't have the lab. And the dark rooms in Mire, those I don't know them pretty well. So I was like,
Well,
otherwise, I would have done Mire.
That's the room that was required anyways, because the green pendant was all that mattered there, unless you count the shield.
Yeah. So, well, I mean, that's, it happens. This kind of shits, they happen every now and then.
For sure.
It could have been worse. It could have been yesterday's Vitasia burn bombs against land mollas.
Yeah, it's no bomb mollas.
Oh god.
I haven't had the pleasure yet.
I practiced that. I practiced as before. I was like, never know.
Let's give one final GG to our runners here.
Alrighty, thank you, Spifer.
Thanks very much
to everyone.
Both of you.
Yeah,
And-
the trackers, the restreamers, you and Firewood King, and Marty, thanks for being my rival today.
Yeah, thanks very much to you, Nach. It was a great match.
Have a good one.
Everyone have a great day. All the information's in chat there, as we said. Lots of races going on through all the speed gaming and link to the past randomizer channels in the next couple days, and the next couple weeks, and the next couple months. There's lots. If there's ever a shortage, go look on YouTube. There's more. Everyone have a fantastic afternoon, day, night, morning, whatever time it is for you.
Have a good one. Catch you next race.